Hello, my friends, and welcome to Cathy Chat. As you know, I get to interview fantastic friends across the globe who have fantastic businesses and wonderful things to share with each and every one of us. And today you get the pleasure of meeting the one, the only leader for true love.
Oh,
Amazing, Ry Duong. I am so excited to have you. I can't even tell you. Your story fascinates me. I am so thrilled to have you on today.
thank you so much, Kathy. It's an honor to be here. I'm very grateful. I'm hoping I find all of the right word because in my heart is beating so fast.
No, no, no. Take a deep breath. Don't worry, you will be fabulous. And honestly, as soon as I saw your background on one of our HMP events, Happy Neighborhood Project, and I saw Leader for True Love, I was like, I have got to know more about this fascinating person. So
Oh,
tell our viewers what you would like them to know about Ry Duong.
first of all, I wanted to say hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so grateful that Kathy actually have me on because she's a true leader and such an inspiration. I have so much to learn from her, and she build the path for women like me and those behind me. So I'm an honored as another female to be able to continue on with this legacy that she started for us. So it's such a pleasure to be here. So my name is Ry Duong, and I am based in Montreal, Canada. I actually am a relationship coach with a training in social work. It's been over a decade that I've been working in the field. I'm passionate about it. I'm obsessed with love. I got a second chance at love. And so I am so grateful. And I want to be able to help successful business women who may be struggling with the dating scene. It's such a nightmare out there, swiping left, right. Gone through it for 17 years. I've been in an unhealthy relationship. And after the passing of my baby sister of about 3 years and a half ago, it really allows me to really take an honest look at myself, that what do I really want from life. And in that 17 years I kind of lost myself, lost my identity in the whole thing. And so when I decided to take a hard look and swallow the hard pill of I want love and I want to be able to love somebody deeply and profoundly. And thank God I love my beautiful boyfriend Joel, and I got that. So I want to be able to give that to other women who are successful business entrepreneur, who are successful in their career, but they don't have anybody to share it with. So I want to change that statistic.
You mentioned before about being in an unhealthy relationship. If your sister had not gone home, as we call it, homecoming, if your sister had not gone home, do you feel that that was the catalyst for getting you out of the other one, or would you still be in it?
It is definitely a catalyst. For sure, I eventually will leave the relationship because I was already starting the process. I mean, 6 years before I actually made the decision when she passed away, it was like an urgency in itself, and I was like, no, there's no time. Like, it can happen like that. You think you still have another day on this earth, it could be one day to the next and you're gone. And so she really speed up the process for me. I would have eventually left the relationship, but it probably would have taken me a couple more years.
Okay. And that's a fair thing to say. And that's why, for all of our viewers and listeners, certainly I want your story to be their impetus for a dynamic relationship. There is still hope, leader for true love, but also an opportunity to meet with you to let everyone know a lot of times we're not given a second chance, but when we are, it's a great idea to take it. So walk us through that.
Yeah. And you know what? I feel very fortunate because there are so many people. I tell my boyfriend all the time is that we're so fortunate. But I do believe there's an expression in English, but I don't know it fully well, but there's an expression in French is that there's always a lid for every
Pot.
pot, right? and
Yes.
and so you could be quirky, you could be a perfectionist, but there's always the perfect person for you. You just need to be able to know what exactly you're looking for, gain clarity about it, and know what you want, the baggage and the old belief that you may be carrying, the limiting belief that you kind of impose on yourself, because we're our biggest obstacle in our own path.
Wow. Now think about that, ladies and gentlemen, a lid for every pot, but we are the biggest obstacles in our own path. So think about that as we go through this opportunity. This is huge for me too. As I said, to be able to talk with the leader for true love, when you are walking someone through their current journey and
Mm.
letting them know that there is hope for the future, what type of tools are you able to give your clients?
One, we have to really look in terms of some of the baggage that they come with. We all come with baggage. I
Yeah.
come with baggage as well. And we have many of them hidden sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
And so to be able to do like a serious inventory of it, what are some of those baggage that we carry, conscious or unconscious, and really gaining clarity of what are some of the real expectation in terms of a partner. We sometimes have an um idea of what romance should look like because of all of the things we've seen in TVs and all of the fairy tale, to be able to mix between that idealism versus reality and build something that is much more adaptable and more suiting to us. So that is very, very crucial. And also, I really work with where they're at. I mean, some people are much advanced when it comes to love, and those who are just starting at the beginning, they're feeling very shy, not very confident when it comes to dating, and really coaching them through the process. There's no right or wrong. There's just like everybody at your own rhythm. And you might be like the least confident, the very shyest person, but when we work through the whole process, we actually know where to look in the right area to be able to find that partner that really match well with us. That's all it comes down to. A compatible partners that really sinks in with our value and who we are.
Do you work mostly with men or with women?
I work with both because I enjoy working with the men as well, but my specific group is really successful business entrepreneur who's really done it all, who proven herself in the business world, but she is feeling desperate or is afraid to die alone, like single. And I don't want that to be their circumstance, because there was a point in my life where I was thinking to myself, if finding myself at 40 going through a midlife crisis and then getting that divorce, going, am I going to end up like as a lonely woman with 40 cats? Thank God that's not the case.
Abs- Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think a lot of us would want to be alone with 40 cats as we go, but you never know. And that's why I was wondering, when you offer the tools in the toolbox, and just like you mentioned, Ree, that is a great message as well. We all come to the table with past.
Yes.
And so a lot of that past looks like baggage. A lot of it we have worked through.
Yeah.
But now what do we do? Do we go to an online dating site? Where do we go to actually find that person? And is that what you walk your clients through? Or do you actually have the gentleman that you speak with, the ladies that you speak with, and you match them up yourself?
So what I do is really, I don't match them up. I actually help them to look at apps and application if they like it more organic, or are they feeling more comfortable when it comes to dating app, and really guiding them through that process. I really think each person's experience is very unique. I always go with what the clients tell me, and I know because from what they're saying, with the feedback they give me, they may not be aware of what they're telling me, but I see the foresight because I've gone through the dating. I've done all of it organically. I was pretty sure that everything had to be organic. There's no way I was going to do the dating app. And then because of my daughter, she said, Mom, like, why don't you go on these dating apps? I'm like, no, that's so not for me. Like, I will meet my future husband like when I go to all these sport, a hiking, a volleyball game. And luckily she is so wise, I listened to her. I said, you know what? That may be the sign from the universe. Let me just get on these dating apps, like one of them. And it was free. I went on Facebook dating app because it was free and I didn't want to pay for anything. And that's how, after I write in my journal, after I did some self reflection of what I really wanted for my future partner, not a husband. I didn't have like all of these expectations. I got to find the one. I just wanted somebody that makes me feel good about who I am without them wanting to change me. I put it on a journal, sent it off to the universe, was optimistic and said, I trust you whenever I'm ready for it. It's good. And then next thing I know, my boyfriend sends me a message saying, hey, I really like your profile. I'd like to get to know you more. And from then on, it's history.
Absolutely. And so, is that the impetus behind your business? If it can work for you, you're able to help other people,
Yeah.
or because you were in a relationship that was not a good idea, is that where you realized you could have been stuck and you don't want other people to be stuck? Which one of those actually played the biggest part?
The biggest part would be the 17 years relationship of
Okay.
everything that I've learned. There's so much material in that. And I have no, I'm the type of person who we believe as a Buddhist, like that it's important to be able to show forgiveness. It doesn't mean that it's okay what the other person did to us. Not that it was okay what my ex-husband did to me, but there was one time, once upon a time, I did love the individual and he did serve me. At that moment, I needed him to teach me something. And I am the person who I am today, strong woman as I am today, thanks to him. So I am grateful for the experience. It wasn't always easy to be able to say that because there were times like, I wish I could just strangle him. But today, looking back at it, he has made me the woman that I am. He's made me in terms of being a very, in terms of my interaction in relationships, so that I don't repeat the same mistake with my new couple as well. He's taught me quite a bit.
So, I am hoping for all the people who are listening with us today and certainly on the replay, first of all, I need to know how they contact you, yes, but then what do they need to bring to the table as far as you just chat with them as far as consultation about their experiences, or what do they need actually for that first meeting with you?
The very first meeting, we really do an inventory. I need to be able to know if your type of clientele that I really want to work with, because I'm kind of choosy in terms of who I want to work with.
Uh-huh.
um I believe, I wish I could help so many women as it's in my dream, the vision that I have. I know it will eventually happen. Is I just saw a lineup of women just like throwing money at me, like, Ree, please help me find love, like I'll pay you anything. I was like, oh my god. And my heart was breaking because the lineup was so huge, and it wasn't even about the money. I was like, how do I even help all of these women who really desperately want to find love? Because, ultimately, all of the success and everything, if you can't share with somebody, it really means very little. And I was looking at that dream going like, how do I help them all? And I couldn't. So I had to be picky and choosy, because what happened is I want to be able to help women who are ready, who are committed, because I'm like that too. If I'm about to get into a business or invest into something, you can be sure you can count my 200%. So I want people who are driven, who wants to change their circumstance, who wants to transform their life, not just verbally, but really take the action. And even if you don't know how to do that, as so long as you have the willingness and you're able and open minded to learning, that's my type of clientele. So we do an inventory, we do a little assessment to see where they're at, whether they're a good match with me, and whether I can actually help them. And from there, we decide whether we want to move on or not. So I'm kind of choosy and picky of who I want to help, because when they are ready, the transformation is just amazing. And I don't say this just as a bluff, because every session that I have with my clients for an hour, and they're so considerate of my time because they know I have to go help other women too. At 50 minutes into our 1 hour session, they're like, getting ready to finish. And I appreciate that because they know the value of my time and what I'm able to give to them. So every time we end with a session, I know I save so much. People who are in business who could have easily lost their business and their partnership, that I was able to save. People in their relationship that would have actually ended up being divorced, that are still together because I was able to change that belief and old systems of the way they were perceiving their partner and some of the hurt that they gone through, to saying like, that is two separate things. What you carry, the the behavior is not the same, but you're so afraid that you want to create a protective barrier. So you say, I better just throw in the towel and move on. And then I was able to prevent that, and to be able to see them have a successful relationship, that means the world to me.
Now, that's a very honestly interesting point. It's not just a matter of, if you're not happy, get rid of him and move on to someone else. It's a matter of, let's work on what you bring to the table,
Yeah.
go from there, and then you can actually decide if it's a good fit for you to stay in that relationship or not. So that actually is a beautiful message as well.
Mhm.
And I definitely appreciate that. And before I ask you about your podcast, because that was so fun being on your podcast last week, as a matter of fact.
I loved it.
Oh my gosh. But before we go to that piece, how you mentioned before that you're picky, but how do
Mhm.
you find your clients? Are you networking? Are you social media? How do your clients find you?
So the best so far has been referral, like
Okay.
people that I network with who really believe in the mission, who really believe in what I do, and they trust me. They know me how I work. Like I really value and cherish and really care for my clients. So they know that they can always trust me in putting the clients in the right hands. So I got a lot of refer from that. I've also did a lot of volunteering in nonprofit organizations, so they refer me clients as well, and a lot of it's been a lot of word of mouth. Social media, I'm not very good at it. I'm getting better. I maybe through you, Kathy, it's probably when it gets spread, but that will be the next thing. I am just thrilled. Like I was telling my boyfriend, there's nothing but going up from here, and there's nothing like a better antidote than spreading love, because I really truly believe that everything in every area of all areas of problems, when it comes down to it, if you have the fundamental love as respect to another person, or respect to your boss, or respect to a colleague, it comes down to love and appreciation. So I really think that love is the antidote for war, for everything around, because the more love you have for yourself, the more you're able to love your partner, the more you're able to be generous and loving to others.
You can see how your entire message comes full circle, because you mentioned earlier that people come to you with baggage. You have the consultation, you walk them through the steps of their own personal journey,
Yeah.
and then together you're able to decide what might be a best next step.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that the love piece is so huge if they just are accepting and responsive to the message. So I can see where that is a huge piece. I wanted to know, first of all, how did Leader for True Love come to be? And then, of course, I need to know, how did Nothing Less Than Extraordinary with Ry Duong come to be, as far as your podcast? Because you're everywhere. Every time I do a search on you, you pop up. It's very cool to see.
Oh, thank you so much, Kathy. I didn't think that I was actually going to come to that. It was just happened to, like, Leader for True Love. It was actually one of my coach that assigned it to me. He said, because I said I am obsessed with love and I believe in true love. Like I don't want the fluffy kind of love. I want something real, something true. And he said, why don't you call yourself Leader for True Love? And for a moment, I hesitated. I'm like, me, a leader? Like, I'm like, I don't know if I could actually be a leader. He's like, yeah, Ree, you're a leader. You really believe in it and you really embody those values. And when he said that, I said, okay, if he's saying it and I listened to the universe, he said, yeah, Ree, you're the leader for true love. So stand up for what's really yours. And I said, you know what? I'm going to embody. And so I accepted the title Leader for True Love. And I'm happy to be carrying it today. So that's how it came to birth. And with regards to Nothing Less Than Extraordinary, my podcast, I I used to work as a waitress back in my high school years, trying to earn some money in order to pay for school and everything. And I've always loved listening to people' life story, old, young, from every country, every nation. I had such an amazing time as a waitress, and I said, if I could only be able to collect the life story of Ordinary Joe and Ordinary Jane, who we never hear about, but their story is so damn amazing, wouldn't that be a beautiful legacy? So that was my mission. So I said, I am going to build a podcast called Nothing Less Than Extraordinary, and I'm gonna highlight all of the people that I meet that are ordinary people that was able to do something, transform the pain into an opportunity. And so that's how the birth of my podcast came to be.
Wow. Well, once again, it was an honor to be on your show last week. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And being able to share our grief journeys together with my book, etc., was a wonderful, certainly a wonderful blessing to me. And I appreciate you inviting me. I'm thrilled to have you on Cathy Chat today because, as I mentioned before, Leader for True Love rocks my world. Nothing less than extraordinary. The fact that you help professionals, men and women, realize that true love is an option and they actually have a chance at that. And we are not stuck wherever we are. And all they need sometimes is a little push, a little guidance. And it's so nice to be able to have someone like you to give us that actual push that we need. So I love that so much. Before we say goodbye today, I'd love to know, please share with our audience, how can people reach you the most efficient way so that they too can get started with their consultation?
They can actually reach me for because they see this on the chat, Cathy Chat. So it's fantastic. They can actually have a 30-minute free consultation
Oh,
of a
wow.
discovery call. And so just type in Cathy, and then I'll know it's because you've seen it through this whole episode. And they can actually reach me at leaderfortruelove.com, and then just go book for a 30-minute free discovery, and you'll be able to reach me. Or you can actually just reach me on my information, which I'll give my cell phone, which is 514-573. I'm Canadian based, so put one first, 514-573-6720. And I would love to just get to know you and see if I can help you. Maybe might be a good match, and see where we can go from there. But there's no pressure. It's just really to give you some kind of a guidance, and you do what you please with that afterward.
Oh my gosh, that is so generous, and I love that. So, friends, do put Cathy in the comments section when you do connect with Ry, because Leader for True Love, nothing less than extraordinary. It's an opportunity for all of us to know we are not stuck, and there is hope for every single person on the planet. All we need is a little push, and Ry might be that gentle nudge. So, I love that so much. Final thoughts, my friend, before we say farewell?
I am just blessed in gratitude. Like I was telling Cathy before, I feel like a millionaire. I have, we're talking about success and doing entrepreneurship. It can be lonely and sometimes a little bit discouraging. And yet, being on with Cathy, we're both wearing red. I didn't even know we're going to be matching, but that's so fantastic. I was just telling her I'm actually at a camping and just enjoying this beautiful weather, and I have my little drinks as well. Toasting. So I have the love of my life and my beautiful dog, and having Cathy here as this beautiful human being. So the dog is actually popping in really quickly, but we can't see the background. But I am just grateful for life. Cathy, you are an amazing person. I love you dearly. I'm so happy that life put us into connection. So thank you for this opportunity. It's all I
Oh
have.
my gosh. Thank you 1,000,000%. And being on Cathy Chat, that is such an honor for me as well. And I appreciate that so much. My friends, thank you for joining us today. Please connect with Ry Duong, Leader for True Love, and definitely follow her podcast on Nothing Less Than Extraordinary. It is an opportunity for all of us to get that gentle nudge. Thank you for joining us, Ry. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you soon in the happy neighborhood.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Wishing you so much love. So go out there and love as much as you can.
Awesome. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.